Now, what is Minifying? Well, it's basically reducing the size of the code on your website server. And by reducing the size of the code, it loads faster. That's the basic idea. There's three things you can minify normally. You can minify what's called the CSS, the cascading style sheets. This is just to do with formatting. You can minify the HTML code itself, and you can also minify what's called JavaScript. At the end of the day, this sounds a bit technical, so you don't have to worry exactly what it's doing. The end result is, again, if you're using WordPress, you just enable this, ideally for CSS, HTML, and JavaScript, and your website loads faster. That's it, basically. Again, if you're not using WordPress, exactly how you implement this, I have no idea, because it will depend from one platform to another. So, as always, I've been recommending WordPress all the way through this course. It's just another reason, if you're not already using WordPress, to think WordPress. Now, if you are using WordPress, there are various plugins you can use. Or the other thing you can do is you can use a cache, in this case WP Fastest Cache, and that includes all the options that you can see there, CSS, HTML, and JavaScript. The other thing about Minifying you should be aware of is that Google recommends this within its speed testing tool. And as always, if Google recommends something, you don't ask questions, you just do what Google tells you. It's their game, and if you want to get to the top of the search engines, anything that Google recommends, you do. So here is the Google Page Speed Insights tool, and I'll just run it for a website. And if you come down here, it's basically enabling things that you should implement that aren't implemented, and it's showing you stuff you've already done, so optimizations are already present. If I click here, it says Show Details. Just scroll down a bit, as you can see. Minifying CSS, that's already been done. Minifying HTML, that's been done. And minifying JavaScript, that's been done. And again, if you want to, you can click on these links here to get more information. So for instance, if you want to know more about minifying HTML, there you are, there's more information. And you've also got some resources here to enable you to implement this. As I say, to be honest, if you're using WordPress, just use a plugin to do it. Now, in this particular case, I'm using WordPress. I've installed a plugin called WP Fastest Cache, which is actually a caching program. But if you look up here, you'll find there's quite a few Minify options. So you can minify the HTML, you can minify the CSS, and you can also combine the JavaScript. You'll notice there's some options here which are not available because this is the free version. You might want to consider upgrading to the premium version, in which case these extra options will be available, and you'll be able to optimize the size of the file even more. You can reduce the effective file size for loading. So as I say, don't worry exactly how it works, just simply make sure it's enabled. Why? Because Google asks you to enable it.